Hi there guys, Phoenix Aurelius here. Thank you for joining us for this lab report for January 2023 for the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. We started off the month of January by receiving physical copies of all of our 2023 astronomological calendars. They got in a little late due to the holidays and things like that, so we had a couple of days where we were just solidly packing and shipping those off to everybody. If for whatever reason you haven't already received your calendar, just go ahead and write in to support@phoenixaurelius.org and we'll take care of that. But to the best of our knowledge, we have all of those available. And we still have plenty of others, so if you're interested in picking one up, please do. Once they're gone, they're gone. And in my opinion, they're still worth every penny that you pay well up until June of the year. I'm also working on making a video right now of all of the ways of using the calendar, or at least the best ways of using that calendar. In fact, I could create an entire course just on how to use that calendar and all of the implied data that's there, but that's going to be way above the heads of most individuals. So the video I'm working on right now is basically how to access it, how to use it, how to understand what it means, so on and so forth. I've also been working on a lot of website copy so that we can better represent our company. As many of you know, we went directly from Phoenix Aurelius work in, I think that was 2017, and we've had numerous iterations of the websites, and we've changed website servers and lots of other things. So trying to find the time to be able to update the copy to match all of the things that we're doing at the present time has been a real challenge, but that's something that I got around to over the holidays, had plenty of time to think about that, and I've started producing copy. There's a lot of information about the benefit LLC aspect of our business, a lot more about our mission with trying to standardize Spagyria for the 21st century and all of the research that we've been doing, but now it will actually be reflected on the website in literature. So there's a lot of about us type of information that's going to be going on there first, and then I'm revamping our IDF research section. We have versions of it that have happened in the past that, again, it's such a huge scope to be able to talk about that we had to narrow it down, dumb it down, so on and so forth. I'm going to be opening it up and having tons of information available on IDF stuff on the site. We're also going to be publishing some data. Among the coolest things that we'll be doing is taking about I can say comfortably there's going to be at least 100 herbs. Like, I know for a fact that there's more than that, but I don't know how many more than that. Where we have standardized data for this amount of biomass per this amount of 95% organic cane ethanol, so that people who are practicing Spagyria or getting into Spagyria will now have a standard to be able to utilize for their own Spagyric lab work, to be able to produce things as close as they can to the standard that we have created here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy and put so much time and effort into standardizing. And again, we have so much work ahead of us. This is literally the very base work that needs to happen, but because Spagyric tinctures are affordable, they're relatable to modern herbalism and so on and so forth, we think that this is the best use of our time and our energy at this point. And for years now, a lot of your purchases, the proceeds from purchases and stuff, have gone into us being able to produce this type of data and chipping away at it. And we have hundreds and hundreds of herbs available. And some of those we've made 2 or 3 or 4 times now. And so we have lots of consistent data to be able to draw from, and we'll be publishing that soon. In fact, that entire research area is going to take over the area on the site that is now called Nori's Nook. As I produce more research data and get that up and get that portion of the website done, Nori's Nook will disappear. That'll be replaced with the research data, and Nori actually has a new website. I believe it's norianadiesel.com, noriana-diesel.com, and she will be running some research programs here in the next couple of months. We're just trying to kind of create some spaciousness for us to be able to do it. We have a huge schedule here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. We are far more busy than most people I know, especially because we have so many projects going on. So she will run that over the next couple of months. Keep an eye out for that, probably March, April timeframe. And we'll make a mention of it in our newsletter when she's ready to actually launch that. But it's going to be cool because it's trauma-based, and so and it's also somatic-based. And so it's going to be taking a look at the root causes of various traumas and how to be able to impact them using various different styles of somatic body work, just somatic works in general, various different types of exercises, as well as things like beyond quantum hypnosis and brain spotting and lots of other tools that she's picked up over the years in order to be able to find streamlined ways of being able to identify what the cause of trauma is and see if there are ways of being able to address those that can be somewhat standardized for the 21st century as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a huge contribution. It's a lifelong work, of course, but it's going to be a huge contribution to the field of psychology, psychiatry, and medicine, especially in future ages. Our Spagyric of the Month subscribers have been steadily going up. At the present time of making this video, we only have room for about 10 more subscribers. If you'd like to support our research and simultaneously build up your apothecary, this is the coolest way of doing it. It's the most cost-effective way of doing it. You get really amazing professionally made Spagyrics shipped to your door every single month. It's just on an auto ship thing for $75 flat. That includes shipping. So really awesome. If you're interested, go ahead and sign up for that. Like I said, we only have space for about 10 more of those at the present moment. We also worked on a freeze-dried cilantro project for one of our clients that we make materials for, and of course we've been continuing our research with the freeze-dried sublimate, all of the liquid that comes out of the cilantro. We have several gallons of that we are now working with and doing different types of things with, and in fact our research is far from conclusive in this regard, but it looks like we might be able to utilize that freeze-dried supplement for a wide number of things inside of the Spagyric pharmacopoeia, including perhaps even a fast-track method for making Paracelsian magisteries. So that is really cool. We've also been working on creating a lot more salts. Because we've had so many tinctures going, we have completely gone through the 50 or so grams of potassium carbonate that we created for our work earlier last year, and now we're doing the same thing. We are creating a ton of salts because we have multiple clients who have multiple gallon runs that we need to do several times a year, as well as I think over 135 different items as of the present moment, just for our lab and for our purposes, that also need to have salts built up. So that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but we're working on it. We also went through a lot of Spagyrzyme in January. We've filtered tons of it, hopefully due to the sale that we had in January. A lot of you were able to get a hold of it. I know that we always, when we get another batch going sometime around April, we also do a blowout, especially because that's a great time for agricultural season. But hopefully you guys have been able to take advantage of the multiple sales that we've been holding, especially on the Spagyrzyme product, in order to get a hold of that. That is such a critical product. I really can't express how important that one is to have on the day-to-day. We started performing in-house spectrometry as well on our own Spagyric tinctures and adding to the corpus of spectrometric data in order to be able to further standardize the production of Spagyric tinctures. Right now, the research is going pretty early. Of course, we have to take tons of samples and enter in all of our own samples and all of our own data. And so it starts with ethanol. We're starting with 95% ethanol, comparing that to 100% ethanol, and then also comparing that to a 40% ethanol that is taken from 100% diluted down to 40% with deuterium depleted distilled water, and being able to create the standards for all of those so that when we get to Spagyric tinctures, we can compare the data between the ethanol used to the Spagyric tincture, and then those differences will be able to tell us a little bit more about spectrometric analysis. So it's really slow going. It's really monotonous work. We have to take dozens of samples of each and everything and compare it to each other in order to build the science and to do it properly. But over time, especially in future generations, this is going to be a very strong foundation for creating these types of this type of data, especially because it's going to be so affordable. Right now we're using a pocket spectrometer, which is pretty expensive, but still relatively affordable for a lot of home labs and home alchemists and spagyrists. And so by being able to create and standardize this type of data, it's going to help people in the future to be able to utilize this type of spectrometric analysis in their own homes to be able to ensure that they are creating professional grade works. And of course, once we go to basically ministries of health and other things and try to get Spagyria acknowledged as an actual form of medicine, this type of stuff is absolutely necessary. And the scope of it is pretty cool too, because we'll be able to tell what types of things and in what concentrations we have active constituents and so on and so forth inside of our tinctures. And we'll be able to compare that to the herbalist catalog, which we already know there's massive differences between herbal medicine, not only in approach, but also spagyric herbal medicines, like a spagyric tincture and an herbalist tincture, do not see eye to eye in most ways. There are similarities, but there are greater differences. And that becomes part of the approach and the way that we think about things and how we work with spagyrics and why we work with spagyrics. And so being able to quantify that is a very important thing, and all of this data will help us to do that. Also, a huge shout out to Dr. Karina Lopez and to Saki Stamu, very dear friends of mine, and Saki's was a student of mine. I guess he never stops learning, but so is a student of mine. But they both have just become such great friends over the years. I hold them so dearly in my heart, and they traveled from Greece to Puerto Rico pretty relatively recently. I guess it was maybe like 4 weeks ago or something like that. They are now back in Greece, but during their time in Puerto Rico, they were able to send us a couple of really amazing herbs, hierbas puertorriqueñas. And the herbs that we have are poleo, mavi bark, guava leaves, guanabana leaves, malagueta leaves, hierba bruja, and anato seeds. Still in the pod, in fact. And so all of these, except for the annatto seeds, we already have tincturing. They were shipped to us fresh. They got here in just a couple of days. We were able to dehydrate them at our own standard of quality, and then immediately get them into tinctures. So all of those except for the annatto seeds, which are not necessarily as delicate as those, and they're still in the pod, have already been worked on, and they will be receiving salt sometime in the next couple of weeks or months. In addition to those herbs, we also received acanthopanax roots and root bark and leaves, perilla leaves and seeds, eucommia bark, olive leaf, and a new variety of spring water and sunlight grown chlorella pyrenoidosa, as well as marshmallow root. It seems like there may be a few other things that have arrived, but maybe that was in early February. It's hard for me to tell and keep track of all those things mentally. We also started 33 new tinctures during the month of January, and we added salts to 32 tinctures that we started in former months, and we finished 26 tinctures. So very, very, very busy month. It's not quite one a day. Sometimes we're starting more than one a day on average, and finishing more than that, but yeah, it's pretty close to about a one a day type of thing, and that is just enormous loads of work. Our entire staff has been kept very busy. Let's see, our research of tincturing, the best tincturing methods for a wide diversity of very rare resins. We initially just placed resins inside of alcohol, and I think this may have been started in December, but we just placed all of the resins in alcohol to see what their general alcohol solubility would be without blending or anything else. Once we were able to see what that looked like with just alcohol and 40 degrees Celsius for a length of time for a couple of weeks, there were plenty of things that did dissolve, but there were even more things that did not dissolve fully. And so what we ended up doing was continuing the research on those that didn't, and seeing if we add blending and a little bit more heat, if they would more readily go into suspension. And some of them have, and some of them haven't. So that was really cool. But we have, I mean, literally dozens of very rare resins. A lot of these are used in perfumery. A lot of these are also medicinal, though, and it's for their medicinal purposes that we've been researching them. The research is still ongoing, so I don't have any conclusive results, but when that research is finished, we will put that on the research section of the website, which is also forthcoming. We also have a space for a couple of white label or custom formulation clients at present. Because we cleared up and freed up some of our time, in fact, a lot of our time, since we stopped producing liposomal vitamin C, we do have more space and we have some more availability to take on clients who are looking for custom spagyric formulations. If you want to stock like dozens and dozens and dozens of different products, we are not the people for you. We can't realistically do that or keep up with that. But if you have a clinic and are looking for, between 1 to 5 different custom formulations or single herb products that you want to have in half-gallon or even 5-gallon quantities, we are capable of doing that, and we would love to do that. So if you're interested or have ideas, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You just email support@phoenixaurelius.org. Let them know that you would like to schedule a consultation. One-time consultation with me is $300. That basically covers an hour of me listening to your pitch, what your ideas are, and then seeing if it's actually congruent with what we want to do, or setting the expectations of what you're responsible for, and so on and so forth, so that you get a good idea of whether this is going to work. We only work with people that are a perfect Cinderella experience. We want that glass slipper experience and no ugly stepsisters, so to speak. So if it's not going to be absolutely perfect for both of us, we just try and send you on your way. And I do try and recommend you to other individuals that are maybe better suited for what you're looking to do, or your price ranges, or whatever else, just the different parameters that you might have. But yeah, hopefully those of you who are interested in getting a couple of products made and stocked for your business, for your stores, for your online ventures, for whatever it is, we are available to take on a couple of those clients, and hopefully we'll be able to work with a few of you. At any rate, I'm sure that there was more that went on during January. All of this is definitely the concise bullet point note type system. It was a very busy month. Starting here in February, it's been equally as busy. We're still working on salts and have tons and tons of different projects going. We're working on some distillation projects, some ethyl acetate split tests, some other things here coming up soon, hopefully to start in February. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do also have, before I end this video, I do also have a Reddit AMA. I've never been on Reddit before, so I don't know much about it. But Christian, our marketing and SEO and media guy, knows all about Reddit, and apparently people have wanted to do an AMA, which is called an Ask Me Anything type of thing, on Reddit for a while. So February 9th, I am scheduled to do that. At the present moment, I don't know what time, but we will put that in the notes of this video. So if you're interested in joining on that, we would love to have you there. Feel free to ask me anything in the realm of Spagyria or even laboratory alchemy. I can answer a lot of questions about alchemical work too, even though I focus primarily on Spagyria. I am an alchemist myself, so be more than happy to check that out. I think the subreddit is the alchemy subreddit that will be on. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write into us. We'd be more than happy to provide some information. And if you are following us on Instagram, there's probably going to be some information there. And we will also put out an email about this the day before, or possibly even the day of that AMA. So for those of you who are looking to join in or are already using Reddit, that might be a fun way of interacting. I think that pretty much covers it. As always, I want to thank all of you for your patronage and for your support. We are really cooking with oil over here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy, and largely it's because of your purchases, your support, the Spagyrics of the Month Club, and various ways that you find to be able to support our work, support our business, and we hope that you are getting as much out of it as you possibly can. If there's anything that we can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out at support@phoenixaurelius.org. And as always, thank you so much. We'll see you next month.